People ask me why I started the Hughes Initiative. What's the purpose? And I say the same thing every time. I got one objective in mind. I just want to help. If I can help one cadet or one first year police officer have a shorter learning curve and be a better police officer sooner, then I've done my job. If I can help one law enforcement professional who's been on the job for a few years manage their stress, become more emotionally intelligent, and develop positive coping mechanisms, I've done my job. If I can help one parent monitor their children safer and prevent human trafficking, then I did what I came to do. And when it comes to kids, if I can help one kid be comfortable with themselves, not follow the crowd, and make better life decisions, I've done exactly what I wanted to do. The Hughes Initiative is about helping. I started because someone had to pick up the torch and move it forward to the future. Better, happier, healthier, productive members of society. That's what we need. Some people get off on getting up in front of people and having the adoration of the public and the fans. It ain't about that for me, right? When I come in and I talk to people, like, I want them to walk away learning something and then going and applying it. I want them to hear my head in their, my voice in their head when they're getting ready to make a decision that may be a bad one, right? Like some young 17-year-olds going to a party, doesn't even really drink, not their thing. And everyone around them is like, oh, have this, drink this, smoke this. And they're really in a struggle with themselves, a power struggle with themselves. And they hear my voice and they say, you know what? RC said it was cool to not try to be cool. I'm good. I don't want that. And they go about the rest of the party and they have a good time and they become the designated driver or they make it home safely. That's what it's about. One parent having tech-savvy parent in their back pocket and really taking it to heart and protecting their family, their young daughter, their young son. They recognize immediately when they're being contacted by a predator of some sort. And they get that information to law enforcement and law enforcement makes an arrest. That's what it's about. Or one police officer on the verge of leaving law enforcement altogether or on the verge of making a really, really, really bad decision one night because they are in a state of depression. And they hear my voice and they say, no, RC said, go to bed. Don't go get more alcohol because alcohol is a depressant. Or RC said, you know what? It is time I ask for help. And I don't care how anybody thinks or anybody feels about me asking. Or it's about one husband saying, you know what? RC said pornography is the cause, one of the root causes of the issues within my marriage. And he's right. And now it's time to fight. And he told me it wouldn't be easy, but I do have to try. If I can have people think that way, then it is a foregone conclusion that they will be better people. The key to life is doing what the Lord has in mind for you, right? And sometimes we can be distracted. And in fact, the enemy's entire purpose is to distract us from our purpose, right? And I believe the Lord's using me to help people get back on their path. And if I can do that, if I can help people recognize and realize who they are and they can become great and successful and help other people in turn, I've done what I set out to do. And I'm comfortable with the fact of knowing the way that I talk about law enforcement or the way that I talk about mental health issues, it might not catch on until 100 years after I'm dead. But if one person says, hey, back in the 2022, 2021, this guy named RC was talking about this stuff. And he made a lot of sense. And that becomes a catalyst and catapults that conversation forward. What more can I ask for? I wrote Dominate Your First Year as a Cop because cadets and first year police officers need to know you're not going to have it all figured out at the beginning. And you're going to feel like you need to because the people around you have figured it out, so to speak. The difference between you and them is one word, and that word is experience. They have already tried and failed and were successful and were unsuccessful, and now they have a good grasp of it. You don't and you won't. I don't care what show you watch. I talked to a ton of police officers before I became a police officer. They all had good information to give me, but it wasn't pertinent because I couldn't apply it right then and there. And you won't be able to apply everything at the beginning. So with Dominate Your First Year as a Cop, I just want first year police officers to understand it's okay to be afraid. It's okay to not know, right? But you must always be safe because this is the job, the only job in this country that in the blink of an eye will send you home in a box. I'm RC, and this is the Hughes Initiative.